everyone, you are at a slightly unflattering angle and there is a reason for that. Trying to think if there's anything I've got that'll boost it up, and there isn't. The reason for that being, the usual thing that gives me height is this thing here, and I sort of need it for the video. What I might do is partway through the video I might stick it under after I've used it. The point I need it for is the first point, and then I can put it back under it. You can be at a normal visual level, because at the minute you're looking up at me, which is the most unflattering angle ever. Right, if you watched yesterday's video, you know I did an analysis of the debate between Idolisation and Joy, and I hinted that today's video was about something to do along the lines of that. Today's actually going to be a 2-video upload. The first one being my issues with Joy, and these aren't issues I'm just plucking out of thin air. They are issues that I have, and for the vast majority of them I have something to back me up. The last issue will be a video all on its own, and it will relate to somebody that we've spoken about on this channel before. She gave me a shout out a couple of weeks ago. We were in the talks of doing a collab, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. I am still in contact with her. She might be watching this video. Hey girl, hey. Sorry, I'm sounding like Karina Garcia then, but right. Like I said, these aren't issues I'm plucking out of thin air. The only one that you could probably say that I'm stretching out is the last one, but that is, like I said, that's going to be a separate video on its own. Today's video, I am going to use as much evidence as I possibly can so that I can't be accused of falsifying information. Now, this first point, I'm going to try not to speculate, because there is a bit of speculation on this aspect of Joy. Now, most people are aware that people, including Martin Lewis, have found information and proof that as far back as 2009, 2005, Joy has done blog posts under Katie Marie Smith and other things surrounding the Indigo Child issue, which is, that's her belief system, that's fine. But also saying that she's ill. There's video of her on a radio show saying that she's ill, that the reason why she's ill is because she's meant to be ill, and that goes as far back as that. Whereas in the video that she did just over a day ago, which I actually have copied in case it disappears, she states that she's only been ill for the last 4 years, but people have found evidence as far back as 10 years that she's been ill. But because people have already addressed that situation before, including Gemma Fisher, I'll refer you to her video up above, because I actually have an apology to make to her, but I'll get to that. I might make that a third video, I don't know. Now, the issue with the last 4 years is this. The video that she did just over a day ago, she says that she was ill. They eventually figured out it was to do with her IUD, and that she had it removed, so she started getting better, but she got a little bit worse, which is normally the case. When you have something like poisoning, sometimes you get a little bit worse before you can get better. That's normal. And then she states that as the copper toxicity started to wane, she started to develop fibro. Now, fibro, to most people might not know what fibro is. Fibromyalgia is a condition which involves the nerves. It involves nerve pain. I have nerve pain every day, so I know that it's not the nicest thing to have. It's also part of the reason why I am generally exhausted. My voice is funny because I am exhausted. Tonight, after these videos have gone up, I'll probably sleep, wake up later, make them live, and record a couple of videos for next week, so that then I can get back into my normal rhythm, because the husband's at work tonight, so usually I work when he's at work, and then we can have the similar sleeping patterns. Now, the main treatment for fibro is a drug called Lyrica, also known as pregabalin. Now, I'm on it. Just so you can see that that is Lyrica. I'm on this for severe nerve pain, but I also have this, nortriptyline. I have this, which is tramadol. Now, all three of them are what they call neurosuppressors, which they dull the nerve's ability to feel pain. The strongest one being this one, of course. Now, the problem is whether this is an error on somebody's part. If a doctor has a patient that has copper toxicity, and then that person develops fibro, a competent doctor will not prescribe Lyrica. The reason being is because it aggravates the copper toxicity. I have links to this. I will leave it down below. It is dangerous because there is a potential of a drug interaction between the copper and the Lyrica, which could actually make you physically ill, even more so than normal or than you were prior. Now, most people think, oh, it's just something minor. No, this is something major. It is something that does make you sleepy, which is why I'm on a strong dose, but I only take it at night in a hope that it'll help me sleep, which doesn't happen, but that's by the by. Most people who are on that, other than me and my mum, well, there's a reason behind this, but most people who are on that tablet or on that medication do feel groggy and do feel lethargic, which is very similar to chronic fatigue. I have chronic fatigue anyway, but that's due to something completely different and something TMI I'm not going to get into. So, like I said, this is the recent last 4 years. Now, neither copper toxicity nor fibro is a nice condition to have, and we are looking into whether I have fibro because of some of the issues I have, because a lot of people that have the main condition I have also have fibro. That's a better angle. You're not down there anymore, you're up there. But like I say, this is just the plain one now. Whether this is her doctor screwing up or something else, I don't know. Not only that, is Lyrica in America is one of the most expensive drugs you can get. It is a seizure medication, but it is also used for pain management, which is what I have it for. My mum's on the maximum dose, and she's on it once a day. No, twice a day, sorry. She takes one in the morning and one at night. And she's on the highest dose she can ever be on that medication. Like I say, it isn't something that is given lightly, because of the side effects, and because of the fact that your body becomes reliant upon it. But that's just issue number one. Like I say, that could be an issue with her doctor, or whether it's just something that's happened, I don't know, or whether ways have got crossed. But Lyrica and copper toxicity do not mix. Right. Point number 2, which is actually in 2 parts. Point number 2 is obsession. We all know how obsessed Joy can be. She makes multiple videos a day. I think she's made now somewhere around the region of about 40, 50 Daddy of 5 videos and well over 100 on Easy-On videos. And both are grounds of obsession. Now, both topics, Daddy of 5 and on Easy-On, are, well, Daddy of 5 is the worst of the worst. On Easy-On's just a big troll. It's the best way to describe it. Like I say, I'll refer you to yesterday's video. I've done a few videos on Idolisation, probably about 4, if you include the video that I did yesterday as well. I've done 4 total. I did mention him in a John cooking video. However, he was relatively left alone in that video. I have since done 3 videos which are solely about him, and then, like I said, there was the video yesterday. So, he isn't the nicest person on the internet. He's not the nicest person on the platform. We all know this. Everybody knows this. He's creepy. He's creepy as all hell. He's got a thing for people under the age of 17. But we're only saying 16, we're only saying 16, 17, 18. He likes his women a little bit young, which is fine. That's his prerogative, that's up to him, whatever. As long as they're of legal age to consent to have a sexual relationship, I can say it's creepy and I don't like it, but there's nothing anybody can do. Yes, some of the stuff with regard to Billy that he did was completely illegal. And yes, he did needed calling out on that. Not to the level where it was 7 or 8 videos a day repeating the same thing, which I wouldn't have done. I did a video calling him out on it, and I did one. I did a 2-part video which was released over 2 days where I called him out on it, and I called him out on the forum and several other things. It's a situation that a lot of people would potentially find themselves in. They idolise somebody on the internet or on the big screen or whatever. They start talking to that person, they get all giddy, and then things get worse. We've seen it with the Austin Jones situation. We've seen it with Austin Knowles. We've seen it with a lot of people, not just on YouTube. We've seen it with James Franco, I think it was, who sent a picture of his junk to somebody under the age of 18. Sports stars have done it. A lot of people have done it. It's one of those things. Also, for men, it's a bit of an ego trip that somebody so young finds them attractive. Whatever. However, you don't make multiple videos on him per day. It's like in the week after his, the 24 hours prior to the debate, she did 7 videos on it. And he got pissed during the debate, which is understandable. But she seems to have tunnel vision. She was completely fixated on Onision. But then I think she sort of started thinking, right, well, I need, something. I think she started calming down on videos on Onision and started doing a smattering of other things. Then the Daddy of 5 situation happened and she just went off. Now, with Onision, it's creepy, it's weird, it's obsessive, there's just way too many videos there. Even now, there's way too many videos there. But technically no laws have been broken, but if he had a good lawyer, then they could make her get us out for harassment. Now, let's go to the Daddy of 5 situation. The Daddy of 5 situation is a much more delicate and a much more nuanced and a much more complicated situation. In this situation, you have one woman who's trying to get permanent custody of her children. You have a man and his wife that want to keep custody of those children, but they've potentially lost custody of those children because of pranks they did on the internet. They tried to delete all trace. However, multiple people, including Philip DeFranco, some guy and a few others, copied their entire catalogue before they deleted it. Now, the major issue I have with Joy's overzealous attention on the whole Daddy of 5 thing is twofold. Number one, her videos could be used by Mike and his wife Heather and their lawyers as a way of saying Rose's side is leaking information, therefore they can say that she's reckless and that Rose has done this to further a goal, blah blah blah, and that she's just using this as a way to get the children back, or she's just using this for whatever reasons. It can be used against Rose in numerous ways, and it could come back and bite Rose. The second one is, despite what Joy thinks, it's actually breaking the gag order. Why? I'll explain. Technically, the gag order doesn't apply to press. That she does have right. It doesn't apply to press. However, if somebody within the case, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a clerk, gives that information about that case, it's breaking the gag order. Now, technically, the gag order is only on Heather, Mike and Rose. However, it does span to the entirety of the people that are in the courtroom. The judge doesn't speak about it because he keeps every case individual, and they sort of contain that. The court staff pretty much have the same mentality. They don't speak about what happens in court because it's something that they could lose their job about. Now, if Rosie's lawyer is giving Joy information about the case, he could get in trouble one of two ways. The gag order does actually apply to him for two reasons. One, due to attorney-client confidentiality, he can't say anything about the case that's going on with his client, because if he does, he could be disbarred and lose his job. Now, if he's been given permission off Rose, she's breaking the gag order. For the attorney to be able to share information, Rose needs to have given permission. If she's done that, she's breaking the gag order. If she hasn't done that and the attorney is sharing information, then he can get disbarred for it. Problem. The other issue I have is there is a video that's out there, which is, I'll try and link below or above, which is Joy losing her mind, part 1, where she's going on about YouTube is press, YouTube is press. If you don't believe me, Google it. Well, I did that and I couldn't find anything. I looked into how a YouTuber would get press packets or press passes for events, and they have to jump through lots of hurdles, including getting limited license certificates. They have to have had a backlog of cases that they've covered or events that they've covered to be able to be deemed as press. So technically YouTubers aren't press. The only people that could actually claim that they are and would have a valid reason for that is those that have a media enterprise within YouTube. So we're talking about the likes of the Young Turks or Fibro, because it is a company and it's a media company, it is a news-based company. Hence why Sam was able to go to the Wonder Woman premiere as a member of the press, because he was there on Phil's behalf. It's why the Young Turks can be there during the debates, it's why they can be there during the meetings, when we were rounding up to the election last year. All that happens, and it happens for a variety of reasons. A YouTuber, I can't just go to the courtroom right now and say, I want to see this case because I press. Well, what evidence have you got? I'm a YouTuber. They'd just laugh in my face and tell me to get lost. If I did that at a premiere, get the exact same. A YouTuber is not seen as press unless they have a valid reason to be seen as press. And to be seen as press, you have to be able to prove that you have a backlog of covering events or cases or things like that. And a backlog of 70 videos over the space of 3 weeks on a case isn't a backlog of evidence stating that you're press, because in those 70 videos she repeated what everybody else knew and hinted that she knew more. And in videos she's done since, like court updates and things like that, she's never actually revealed anything that nobody knows. So either somebody in the court is breaking the gag order, or the judge has lied to Joy to get her off his back, or somebody is breaking the gag order. Now, she might come back and say, yeah, but the gag order only applies to Rose, Mike and Heather. Technically that is true, and technically anybody can cover the story, that's fine. However, Joy is repeatedly claiming that she has information that she can't share just yet. if she knows information, she shouldn't, because the gag order is in place to prevent it knowing information about anything to do with the case, mainly the gag order. So that's an issue, and like I say, her coverage of the case, she's saying that she's only going to stop when Rose has permanent custody of the children. At the end of the day, it's in the lap of the judge. It's in the court case. It's in the court system, and it's being dealt with. If she carries on covering the case the way she's going to make things worse, a lot worse. Sorry, I've got my computer down at the side, so because I've got notes. But I'll type them up. You might see why in a few days. Depends on whether he does the video or not. Right, anger. The last couple of videos I've watched, with the exception of the one where she talks about her illness, the last couple of videos I've watched or I've seen through other people, namely EOcast, she's been very angry. Now, I'm going to point to her analysis of the BuzzFeed video. I have a few issues with that anyway. But she seemed very angry. She's like, she's shouting. Now, in that video, the video is about a guy who is attracted to a woman, but he doesn't know how to approach her. She goes out on a date with him, probably out of pity. He thinks that he's got a chance when he hasn't, etc. And it causes problems, because he buys her an expensive watch, she doesn't want the watch, etc. Now, Joy's like, he doesn't read social cues. No, because he probably has Asperger's, which means he can't read social cues. Thus meaning that he's not going to be able to understand what she's trying to say to him, though only hinting. So it's when talking about something like that video, where it is clearly about somebody with Asperger's or social anxiety, she's just saying he's creepy, and it's clear to anybody watching that he's like that because he's socially awkward, that he's socially anxious, that he doesn't know how to handle things. Because the video is something to do with beta males. Now, my husband could be classed as a beta male, and he was never like that with anybody, as far as I'm aware. My husband has social anxiety, and he's never been like that. But there are people that are like that have social anxiety. So and her anger in that video is so funny, because what she was saying about that guy in that video was the same thing that we could say about her when she was talking to Lainey after her debate with Greg. Where Lainey was like, I want to get out of here, but she wasn't saying it. But Joy couldn't pick that up, so. Right, number 4. I'm not actually going to go into this a lot, because somebody else has already done that for me. I am going to point you towards Jamie Fisher, I think she's called, or Jamie Lee Fisher. Her video up above, where apparently she got loads of attacks, where she goes into details about the amount of people that have donated to Joy, and later found out that the money's gone on something that she said it wasn't going to go on. Like I said, I'll leave that for Joy to explain, for Jamie to explain, because she explains it a lot better than I do, and she has more of the proof than I do. So, that's it for this part of the video.